ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, אב הרחמן, משוקבתך אל רצונך, אל רצונך. ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, אב הרחמן, משוקבתך אל רצונך, אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך תבואי תחווה אל מון הדרך. ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, אב הרחמן. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. These candles are so beautiful. I want to see if I can get them. Yeah, if I move them over a little bit this way, get them a little bit more centered so you can see them. And we can bless them. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Yeah, la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la 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 la, yeah la la la, yeah la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mikoros mayim rabim nadirim, mispereya. Bamir Bamaro Adonai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai lai lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai lai lai, Yalla lai 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 lai, Yalla lai lai lai. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Edotecha nehinu me'od levet kanav hakodesh. L'orech yamim, l'orech hamim, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya I'm happy tonight. I feel strong, and my voice feels clear, and my guitar's in tune. You can't see it, but my studio's a mess. Not yet really put together, but because it keeps moving, but I think I've settled into a spot. And it's good to join you for Shabbat. So this is a special Shabbat. It's Shabbat Arab American New Year. It's the New Year. We get 2 New Years. We already had 1 New Year, and now we're having another New Year. And there are 2 different kinds of New Years, but they don't have to be. So I heard a little bit of reframing of what's going on for us right now in this sudden increase in illness related to elements of the pandemic. And I love this point of view. We don't know where it's going. And there's a great Jewish blessing that says, "Blessed be thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who creates things we cannot understand." We don't know. We don't understand. But, so we don't have control of that. We don't have control yet. We have management, we don't have control yet. So in the meantime, what do? Well, for the last almost 2 years, we have had COVID with us in the background. In the news, in the conversation, everything we do, in the mask wearing, and with the vaccinations, the whole thing. COVID has been the centerpiece. The center object of attention for 2 years. So what would happen if we psychically put the COVID as the backdrop and put love and compassion and ritual and care and empathy and equanimity in the front? We've allowed this illness to take front stage, just like we've allowed school shootings to take front stage, just like we've allowed lying politicians to take front stage, just like we've allowed whatever happened on January 6th to take front stage. So it's time to take that all and put it as a backdrop to turn the experience into history as much as we can and to move forward in a positive way. So if I have to stay home and work, or if I have to wear 3 masks or have 2 more vaccinations, whatever it is, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let COVID be this. COVID, this is what COVID's doing. It needs to go in the background. Put it in the background. Interestingly enough, the Parsha, the Torah portion for this week, is Vayirah. It's about Moses and God, the 10 plagues and all that kind of thing, and the leading us out of Egypt and into freedom. Why now? Passover is until March or April. Why now? Well, now because we are constantly on that pilgrimage. And when the Jews were marching through the desert trying to get to the Holy Land, how the hell could it have taken 40 years? It could not take 40 years to walk from Egypt to Israel. So what happened was that intuitively, Moses knew that we weren't really ready. So For 40 years, we walked in circles, and finally, even Moses didn't get to go. Finally, we got to the Holy Land. What is the Holy Land? What is the Holy Land a symbol for? The Holy Land is a symbol for righteous, loving, caring life. So for 2 years now, we've been walking around in a circle with COVID in the middle, with January 6th in the middle, with financial disaster in the middle. Let's put it on the outside. Let's put it in the background. And then all of a sudden, there's a space in the middle for love, for care. And so it's a new year. Tomorrow's the first day of 2022. And so I'm going to ask you while I do the next song, if you wish. And hello, Phyllis. It's always great to have you. Sending love for sure. The question is, what was hard for you this year that you'd like to move from the realm of experience to history? Right? Because if we keep living our experiences over and over again, then we end up inflicting them on other people. The whole let bygones be bygones, all things say. It's a good concept. And what new fabulous thing happened for you this year? And what would you like to bring into the next year so that the negative becomes part of the backdrop and the positive becomes what we focus on, because it's up to us. It's not up to the media. It's not up to the government. It's up to us. It's up to us how we frame it. It's up to us how we where we put what in our existence. We cannot control it, but it actually cannot control us in the sense of telling us where to put our focus. So during this song, thinking about what was a big challenge for you this year, and what was wonderful, and what is a wonderful new thing that you're doing. Eli, Eli, shelo yedamer leolam, hakol v'hayam, rish shel hamayim, barach hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam, hakol v'hayam, rishu shel hamayim, barach hashamayim, tfilat ha'adam. Oh Lord, my God, I pray that these things never end. Send the sea, the rush of the waters, the flash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the flash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. What have I struggled with this year? I might share with you. What I've struggled with is the challenge of being okay with not saying anything. Because from time to time, we get pushed into someone else's drama. We get dragged and pushed and cajoled into someone else's drama. And we don't really want to be in it, but somehow before we turn around, we are in it. So my struggle has been, how do I not engage? And I'm not sure. That's not an easy question. How do you not engage? So that's been my struggle, and it continues to be my struggle. And I will continue working on it. I will continue working on it. What has been my joy has been creating. And I have a couple of things I'd like to read that are part of that creativity. And the lighting isn't great in here, but it'll have to do. I do have glasses within my reach. The first one is called the West Side Laundromat. And it's about an experience I had where I was on a vacation and I had to go to a laundromat because there was nowhere to wash our clothes within the place that we were staying. So I went to a place called the West Side Laundromat up in somewhere in Oregon, Southern Oregon, maybe Northern Oregon, I don't know, somewhere in Oregon. And this was my experience. And it tells a little bit about life, because what I think is that in the laundromat, there's certain places that carry a natural authority to them. There is equanimity in the laundromat. Nobody is better than anybody else. Doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, where you come from, what country you come from. Are you older or are you younger? Doesn't matter. The laundromat is a place of equanimity. And if you've ever been in one, or you've been in one recently, and I'm cleaning my glasses, then you will know what I'm talking about. Well, here you go. The West Side Laundromat is a very fine place. You walk right into a smiling face and a vintage change machine that makes you feel like you win when you just slip a 20 in the coin machine, and out come the quarters sounding like a jackpot from a slot machine. Ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink. You count them just to make sure. How you ever going to use those extra quarters? Because there's a lot of quarters there. No worry, they'll cash them back in when you're done, free of charge, if there's any left over. There are some roads you can pay someone to walk down for you. Some you can ask to walk down with you. Some you can choose to never walk. But the trip to the laundromat is not one you can miss. Maybe when you went there as a child because your parents didn't have a washing machine. Maybe you went there in college for lack of one in your apartment or dorm. Maybe you went there when your kids got lice and it was just too much for the old machine at home. Maybe you went there when you got divorced and had to size down. Maybe you went there from your senior apartment. Most likely, you've been there at least once. So if you've never been, or not for a long while, pay a visit to the West Side Laundromat. Everyone's equal there, on the same playing field. Everyone has to wait, and there's plenty to do while you wait. Pay your own way, and when you're done, you'll feel finished. So done that you'll want to do it again next week. There's just something very grounding about laundromat. Just for fun, if you haven't done it, go do your laundry there sometime and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so one of the things I've been talking about lately, and I think I did bring a paper about it, is God space. So what is God space? God space is like cyberspace. It has a lot of the same elements as cyberspace. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it. But you know when you're in it. And you're either in it or you're not. And there's never an in-between. You're never sort of in God's space. You're either in God's space or you're not in God's space. You're either online or you're not. And when you're not, you have to do something to get online, and sometimes you have to call a technician to come. Sometimes, in order to get into God's space, you got to call a rabbi or a teacher. And then you need tools. Because to get on cyberspace, you need a laptop, and you need a modem, and you need this, and you need that, and you need this, and you need that peripheral. And if you don't have it, you can't get on, or you can get on and sometimes you get kicked off. But how do you get on and stay on? So you sign on to God's space with prayer, meditation, contemplation, mindfulness, mindlessness, because we all need a little time when our mind just isn't functioning. So when you enter God's space, it's a little bit like an ignition. One of the ways that we as Jewish people get into God's space is with the Shema. And we say, blessed be that thing which we cannot see, touch, feel, or describe or name, but we know it is real. We don't necessarily know it's true, but we know it's real. And real is much more important than true. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Yalalai, 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 yalalai. So if you're having trouble getting in God's space, try this little exercise. So close your eyes and take about 4 rhythmic long breaths in a row where you take the inhale and you definitely exhale, but you don't make noise when you exhale. So it looks something like this. A little bit of holding in between. Inhale. Continue that breathing while you put your entire being into the bottoms of your feet. And feel the space, the contact between the bottom of your feet and the floor beneath it. And then think about what's beneath the floor and what's beneath the subfloor and what's beneath the concrete or the dirt and what's beneath that, and go all the way down as you can, as far as you can, and feel the truth of gravity. And just do a little breathing while experiencing the truth of gravity. We can't see gravity, we can't feel gravity, we can't really explain it, but we know it's happening. So as we put the negative behind us and the positive in front of us, let's see if we can make our way to God's space. I have another poem I want to read, which is something fun that I worked on. And it's called Buddhist Chain Gang. And what it is one day I was sitting in a coffee shop and I noticed outside, walking in one direction, were about a dozen Buddhist monks in robes, doing what looked like maybe walking Zen meditation. Very orderly, with great discipline. And shortly after that, a group of probably 10 or 12 inmates who got out of a van that was from county jail, who I guess were doing their community service and picking up trash. So I love the juxtaposition, and I kind of morphed these two experiences together. 12 Buddhist monks dressed in brown robes passed me and my cup of beet powder infused chai, peacefully interrupting our conversation's flow. 12 Buddhist monks walking Zen, gliding by. Southward bound they go. And I thought to myself, this is odd. Strange yet normal, they proceeded. And I thought to myself, where is God? Can't God see how much God is needed? 12 convicts dressed in bright orange jumpsuits passed me by in my bagel and cream cheese and lox, paying the price for their ill-thought pursuits, rudely interrupting the flow of our thought and conversation. 12 convicts collecting trash, gliding by, northward bound they go. And I thought to myself, this is odd. Strange yet normal, they proceeded, and I thought to myself, where is God? Can't God see how much God is needed? 12 Buddhist monks in brown robes, unattached to tomorrow, walking Zen, southward bound. 12 convicts in bright orange robes, unattached to their crimes, collected trash northward bound. This is odd. Strange yet normal, they proceeded, and I thought to myself, where is God? Can't God see how much God is needed? 12 Buddhist monks, 12 Buddhist convicts in orange jumpsuits, unattached to their sins, walking Zen southward bound. 12 Buddhist convicts in brown robes, unattached to their sins, collecting trash northward bound. And we noted the traded positions. Switching places, they calmly proceeded, as if unattached to their new definitions. Their old robes had readily conceded. What's the difference, the monks mentioned softly, whether walking Zen or picking up trash? Northward bound or southward bound, lowly or lofty? Be us monks or convicts, it all ends in ashes. Then they all stopped, fell in side by side, and all walking trash and picking up Zen, they saw their missions would now coincide and morph into one and go forth once again. I'll post those poems on my Facebook. Perhaps a little strange to follow the first time. Just thought it was an odd juxtaposition. And, I'm someone who believes more in miracles and messages than coincidences. And also, I wanted to share something this week. My odometer suddenly reached 11,111 miles. And if you look up the significance in ones in many, many spiritualities, you find out that ones lined up, like when it's 111 or 11 or 11, you have to notice it's 1111, or you see a bunch of ones lined up. Angels are present. take that where you want to take it. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. And hello, Mom. I'm glad you're here. I hope you saw the whole thing, and if not, you can always tune back in. I do this little Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat on Rick Concoff's Facebook Live, on Rick Concoff's Coffee House, on YouTube, Rick Concoff's YouTube, and on a Facebook page called I Was in Rick Concoff's Class, where I enjoy gathering former students. So I don't know how many of you are there, but whoever you are, I'm glad to see you there. See the pretty candles? So what can we do to really foster a transition? I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. We're going to put our problems, our issues, our dramas, our COVID, our diseases, our afflictions, our aches, our pains, any negativity, we can't get rid of it, but we're going to put it in as a backdrop. And we're going to change what's in the front. And what's in the front is love and joy and the sanctity of the fact that we have life and that every morning we wake up and there's a reason to live. The reason is love and care and possibility, the possibility that exists within each one of us. An author who is a quantum physicist was asked to answer the question, what is a soul? And paraphrasing, he said, the human soul is infinite possibility. Living within each one of us, besides the body and the skin and the face and all the trappings that we have, inside of us are infinite possibilities. And at any one moment, we take one of those possibilities and we make it real, we actualize it, and a bunch of old possibilities fade away forever, and a bunch of infinite new possibilities appear. So the human soul is a bundle of possibility. I like looking at it that way. And again, as I've said many times before, maybe God, maybe, just maybe, God is a verb. Maybe God is something that we do. A movement, a gesture, a flow, a moving forward. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Esa einai E'arim be'ayin yavo as we sign on. Here's a good song for New Year's. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. Yesterday a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful as the sky was full of thunder, and fearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down, captive on the carousel of time. There's a turn we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels and car then the child went 10 years round the season. Skated over Glen Gentler words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make it free. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies look up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. Can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round. Now 16 springs, 16 springs and 16 summers gone. Car wheels turn to car wheels to the town, and you tell him take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. Can't return, you can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle again. Years go by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming through, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. future, and we can only look behind from where we'll be and go round and round and round in the circle. And go round and round and round in the circle game. If you have a cup of grape juice or wine or anything that you could replace that with, why don't you join with me in blessing the source as we do in all prayers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh b'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim V'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Als ich will singen Lecha Dodi, sollst du singen Chiri Biri Bim. Als ich will singen Likrat Kala, sollst du singen Chiri Biri Bam. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Lecha Dodi Chiri Biri Bim, Chiri Bim, Chiri Bam, Chiri Bim, Chiri Bam, Chiri Bim Bam, Bim Bam, Bim Bam, Chiri Bim, Chiri Bam, Chiri Bim Bam, Bim Bam, Bim Bam. Hey, I chiri berry berry bim bam bam. 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 Chiri bim bam chiri bim bam. Chiri bim bam bim bam bim bam. Hey, I chiri berry berry bim bam bam. I chiri berry berry bim bam bam. I chiri berry berry bim bam bam. I chiri berry berry bim. So, Happy New Year, Shabbat Shalom. May you have a good and healthy and wonderful and sufficient and even prosperous New Year. May you have a life that sustains you and a heart that helps sustain others. And I say Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom.